Back here at the WEC, Matt Provence, joined by Coach Tommy Messinger. And Tommy, there's so much we could talk about. This is like the audiobook for War and Peace. I'm going to warn you right now. First of all, but the first and most important thing, congratulations. Win number 1 on the board.
Thank you. And, the guys work so hard every day. It's great to break through for that first one. We have so many freshmen. It's their first Division I college win. So now we got that momentum. We can keep it rolling the next weekend.
And it's funny because I sit here and say, okay, what are we going to get into first? We could go a myriad of things. But I said something to you when we first came out. To me, as a coach, you'd like to just waltz away a big victory, not lose as many hairs, and then pull your rip it out. But I thought it meant something that you guys saw the lead dwindle from 18-4, took the big haymaker, and bounced back, held on, and salted away the victory. How important it is for you with all the young newcomers to the program, 9 freshmen, 11 newcomers, was winning that way?
Yeah, well, it's huge, and, a big part of this game is learning how to win, right? And you're not always going to win every game running away. And, we'd watched a lot of film on Delaware State, and they get down big early, and they fight back. They're a really feisty team. They're really well coached. They play hard. So we kind of knew that was coming. But, again, we're learning how to win. The returners and the freshmen together, we're learning how to close out those games. So being able to absorb that, to feel it and not go the other way and really come together at the end, right? Because it's pretty easy to fracture when things are going wrong. To come together at the end and pull it out, that's going to serve us pretty well for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, and you were without 2 of your most experienced players in Elijah Buchanan and Kel DeGraff, and it was really the freshmen, which is crazy because the game was in the balance. It really looked like it had swung drastically the other way. Sebastian Robinson couldn't have been better. Talk about from a coaching perspective what you saw from him when the cards were dealt and the chips were all to the middle of the table.
Yeah, and we saw, even in a loss at American, we saw Sebastian take a huge step forward with his confidence. Like, you could see something click. He's like, I belong at this level, So what we saw out there wasn't a freshman. It's just a really good Division I college basketball player, right? So, you can't say enough about it. He calmed us when they were pressuring us with the ball. He got to his spots, hit big shot after big shot after big shot, and they had no answer for him. So, again, we don't even really look at him as a freshman anymore. He's been through the fire a little bit here early on, so he's just a really good player now.
And when you watch the film and you see, I think it was his final field goal when he bullies his way through the lane, finishes amongst the big men with a windmill that I can't even do in horse in the backyard. I think you'll even appreciate his performance again, more so later on tonight. But another guy, if he's the star of the night, the win, plenty of supporting actors who did admirable work here. But Levi Lual, a guy that probably wasn't expected to see big minutes this early in the season, was huge to start, and maybe more importantly, with 4 fouls, huge to finish.
Absolutely, and you can't say enough about Levi. We've got a little all-in chain that it goes to the hardest working player, and Levi got it. He earned that thing, I'll tell you that. He's a guy, he's a little bit undersized, he's obviously not the strongest, most well-built guy, but man, he's got heart. Every single day in practice we see it. He's physical. He pushes guys. He gets tough rebounds, not afraid to put his nose in there. He was bloodied. He was cut. He was just mad that he couldn't go back in the game. He didn't even want to come out of the game when he was bleeding. So he's one of those kids. He's from Maryland, played a really, really tough, Mount Zion program last year, and it's kind of bred into him, that toughness. So he really brings that to us in spades.
When there was about 6 or 7 minutes left, and I believe it was when Schreier fouled out, he actually went to the scorer's table. Were you the guy that had to hold him back?
No.
Somebody had to get him back to the bench. He wanted to go back out there with the 4 fouls.
We didn't want to hold him back. We were trying to get him back in that game. But no, it was again. He's one of those gamers. He doesn't look to the other bench and see a single kid, ever in his career that he's not willing to go put his nose up in there against.
Yeah, and I know I want to try to, get this thing rolling for you. You've got a win to celebrate. But there's 2 other things that kind of stood out to me. I want to talk first on the offensive end to kind of culminate that conversation. I thought the willingness to share the rock, even at the first half, you guys had 10 assists and only 4 turnovers. Yep. What about this offense? What about the way you guys play offensively worked tonight? Because the outside observer, is the best offense I've seen here in a while.
And that's something that Coach Bill Meyer really hammers home every day in the pregame and practice. When the ball has energy, we're really, really good. When the ball has energy, we shoot a higher clip, right? And it's kind of that old basketball adage, like when everybody's involved and it flows, you're going to shoot a better percentage of them. That's what we really saw. It was a point of emphasis coming into the game. We knew they were going to be aggressive on the ball, throw some junk defenses at us. If we tried to go one-on-one and go into the teeth of the defense like we did last weekend, all right, it's not going to work out. We're going to shoot a low percentage. But we zipped that ball around. We found our teammates. We trusted our teammates. And that's what you see. You have really good basketball players hitting shots, and that's what happens in basketball.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to watch. And then on the other end, just as important will be the defense. And when I talked to Grant Billmeyer before the game, he said, you know, we're not there yet. There's moving pieces. We can't really get into a rhythm. And if nothing else tonight, you guys were as feisty as you needed to be to disrupt really what the Hornets wanted to do. From your eyes, what types of steps were made to improve what you guys did defensively?
Yeah, and we battle so hard in practice every day, and it was nice to see that really translate into the game. But we knew we were going to be undersized. And we had Jake Goldberg guarding the 6'10 guy right out of the gate, right? It's like, hey, Jake, you're 6'3", 6'4", you were a guard in high school, but guess what? Guard this really athletic, strong 6'10 guy. But, you know, it really was a team effort, and that's what you really saw on defense. It wasn't a single guy on an island left to fend for himself in a matchup he can't win. It was all 5 of us together, and when all 5 of us are together on the defensive end, right, that 5-on-1, we're going to win that every single time.
Oh, and there was a lot of help, to your point. I mean, people were talking, people were moving, and it was a great effort. That ends Chapter 1. Chapter 2. Look, I'm going to let you go, but I do have one just a tongue-in-cheek question. Over/under on numbers of texts you and the fellow NJIT coaching staff members have before 10 o'clock tonight.
Oh, my God. I think I might have gotten one walking off the court. I'm not sure. So I'm going to say 0.5, but smart money's on the over.
Oh, man. Yeah. The phone's blew up, but that's a good sign. That means things went well. People are supporting your efforts. And I'll tell you, first time I get to see you guys live today, and it's been a while since I saw that kind of exciting brand. I hope you guys can build off of it. Stay healthy, get healthy, and continue. But for now, enjoy this one. It was a well-fought battle and a good win.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Tommy Messiger, assistant coach here for NJIT. I'm Matt Provence. Highlanders get a win by 9 here against Delaware State. Thanks for watching this production of Highlander Sports.